Every meal you eat could be silently shaping the destiny of your family. What if I told you that something as simple as placing your fork the wrong way or leaving leftovers on the table could invite curses into your home? Witchcraft isn't just in movies, it's real, and it can destroy your health, your wealth, and even the unity of your family. Today, I'm going to reveal 11 things you must never do on your dining table, because ignoring them could cost you everything you've worked for. You might think the dining table is just a place to eat, a place to fill your stomach, but it is so much more than that. Every meal you take is a ritual, whether you realize it or not, and the energy you bring with you into that space has the power to shape your family, your home, and even your destiny. Think about this. If anger, frustration, or resentment sits at the table with you, it doesn't stay contained inside your head. It spreads. It flows into the food, into the plates, into the air, and into the people around you. The dining table becomes a magnet for negative forces, arguments, harsh words, grudges. These are like open invitations for witchcraft, for energy that wants to disrupt the harmony of your home and block your wealth. It doesn't matter how small the disagreement seems. Even a fleeting moment of irritation, a sarcastic comment, or a passive-aggressive glance can shift the vibration in the room. Spirits, unseen eyes, and energy entities are constantly watching. When you argue while eating, you're sending a signal. That space is chaotic, vulnerable, and unprotected. They will take that opportunity. Families that regularly eat in a tense, argumentative environment often see strange patterns, money problems that seem to appear out of nowhere, health issues that linger despite treatment, relationships that fray despite love. These are not coincidences. They are manifestations of energy misalignment caused right at the table. Even if no one says a word, silent resentment carries the same weight. If someone holds grudges and sits down to eat, the energy around them shifts. The universe notices. The spiritual realm notices. Your dining table, which should be a place of nourishment, becomes a doorway for misfortune if it is tainted by negativity. And this isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. It's about creating a space where the energy is clean, calm, and respectful. Before you sit, check yourself. Are you bringing anger with you, frustration, fear? If so, don't eat until you cleanse yourself. Speak a prayer, meditate for a few moments, or simply take a deep breath and let it go. Families that follow this practice, who treat the dining table as sacred and approach every meal with gratitude, calm, and respect, report a shift that can be seen and felt. The children grow in harmony, financial opportunities appear more easily, and the household feels protected in ways that cannot always be explained. This is not superstition, it is energy law. The table listens, the energy carries, and what you do in that space matters far more than most people understand. Every word, every thought, every emotion you bring to your table either builds protection or invites chaos. Do not underestimate the power of a peaceful meal. Guard it, honor it, and watch as your family and your wealth are shielded from forces that wish to harm you. You might think placing your feet on the dining table is just a small, careless gesture, something only children do or adults do without thinking. But in the spiritual world, no act is truly small, and no gesture is without consequence. The dining table is not merely furniture, it is a sacred space where energy converges. It is a place of nourishment, of unity, of family bonding. When you disrespect that space by placing your feet on it, even unconsciously, you are opening a doorway to chaos, inviting forces that seek to destabilize your family and your fortune. Feet are the lowest part of the body, symbolically and energetically. They carry the energy of the earth, yes, but they also carry what is heavy, stagnant, and unclean. To place them on a table where food is served, where your family gathers, is a signal to the unseen realm that boundaries no longer matter. It is as if you are telling the universe, this space is vulnerable, it is not protected, I am careless. And once that message is sent, the energy that flows into your home shifts. Wealth can begin to stagnate. Relationships can fray. Harmony can dissolve in ways that seem invisible but are deeply real. I have seen it repeatedly. Families where this habit becomes normal often experience unexplainable tension. Arguments erupt over small things. Money disappears faster than it comes. Children become restless or rebellious. It is not coincidence. The energy at the table mirrors the energy in life. If you treat your dining table with carelessness, disrespect, or laziness, the spiritual realm notices, and doors open for forces that wish to disrupt your home. Even if you do not believe in spirits or witchcraft, energy law is undeniable. Every action has a reaction. Every movement sends a vibration into the space around you. By placing your feet on the table, you are lowering the vibration of the entire household. The act itself might feel trivial, but it communicates carelessness, disrespect, and neglect. And that is exactly the type of energy that attracts problems in your finances, health, and family unity. The solution is simple, yet it requires awareness. Honor the table, treat it as sacred. Teach your children, even the youngest, that the space where you eat is a place of respect, a place where negativity and chaos have no home. Wash your hands, sit properly, and approach your meals with gratitude and reverence. This small act of mindfulness does more than keep order. It protects your family from unseen forces and ensures that wealth and peace flow uninterrupted. The table listens to your actions, mirrors your respect, and reflects back the energy you give it. Never underestimate the spiritual weight of a simple gesture. Guard it carefully and watch as the flow of your family's prosperity and harmony remains strong, untouched by forces that wish to harm you. You might think leaving food on the table, letting leftovers sit, or allowing plates to pile up is just a matter of laziness or forgetfulness. But in reality, this is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make in your home. Food carries energy. It carries life, nourishment, and intention. When you neglect it, when it rots or spoils on the table, it doesn't just stink or attract insects. It becomes a magnet for stagnant energy. And stagnant energy is exactly what witchcraft and negative forces feed on. The moment food is left out, unblessed and ignored, it is no longer neutral. It becomes a doorway for misfortune, for disruptions in your wealth, for challenges in your health, and for conflicts in your family. Think about it. Every household has had this happen. One night of leaving food on the table, and the next day tempers are shorter, money is missing, and arguments spark for no clear reason. It may seem like coincidence, but this is energy at work. When you let food decay on your table, it creates a vacuum. And anything that is attracted to a vacuum, be it negative energy, jealousy, or spiritual attacks, can step right in. This is why families who are careless with their meals often experience repeated misfortune. It is not luck, it is energy law. Even more subtle is the way energy lingers around leftovers. If you leave scraps, peelings, or uneaten portions, they carry fragments of intention, sometimes anger, sometimes neglect, sometimes carelessness. These fragments attract forces that do not wish you well. They disrupt your financial flow. They create tension between loved ones. They can even affect your health over time, silently weakening the vitality of those who share your home. The protection begins with mindfulness. Every meal should be treated as sacred, even if it is a simple breakfast or a quick snack. Bless your food, acknowledge it, and honor it by ensuring nothing is left to decay. If food is left over, store it carefully or dispose of it properly. Teach everyone in the household that the table is not just a place to eat. It is a portal of energy, a reflection of the home's spiritual state. By respecting this space and everything on it, you reinforce a shield of protection around your family, your wealth, and your harmony. The power is subtle but undeniable. Neglecting food may seem harmless, but it is one of the easiest ways to allow misfortune to creep into your life. Every plate, every bite, every meal carries a vibration. When you carelessly leave it to rot, you create an opening for forces that wish to harm you and your loved ones. When you treat it with reverence, when you honor the table and what it holds, you send a clear signal: this home is protected, my family is protected, and my wealth is safeguarded. Never underestimate the spiritual significance of food and cleanliness on your dining table. Guard it carefully, respect it daily, and watch as protection, harmony, and prosperity flow naturally into your home. Many people never stop to think about how the smallest details at the dining table carry immense spiritual weight. One of the most overlooked mistakes is the careless mixing of clean and dirty utensils. It may seem trivial, just a fork here, a plate there, but in reality, energy does not make mistakes, and it does not ignore carelessness. Every object carries vibration. Dirty utensils, leftover crumbs, even the fingerprints left on a plate are not neutral. They are saturated with energy, and when they come into contact with clean dishes, forks, or cups, they transfer that energy, subtly contaminating not just the items themselves, but the very space around them. This contamination is not just physical, it is spiritual. When you use a dirty spoon to serve food on a clean plate, or leave unwashed dishes mixed with fresh ones, you are creating a gateway for negat. I've energy to enter your home. Witchcraft does not always come in the form of spells or rituals performed by someone else. Often, it arrives quietly, feeding on chaos, carelessness, and neglect. When the energy of the table becomes polluted, it can seep into your finances, your relationships, and your health. Money that should flow easily disappears. Arguments arise over trivial matters. Sickness lingers longer than it should. Families that do not maintain this boundary often report a sense of heaviness in the home, tension at mealtimes, and even repeated patterns of misfortune. And the reason is simple. The energy in your dining space mirrors the energy in your life. Every dish, every utensil, every napkin has the ability to hold or transfer energy. If you are careless with them, you are unknowingly signaling to the universe and to unseen forces that your home is unprotected, vulnerable, and ready to receive misfortune. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Every utensil, every plate, every cup should be treated with respect. Wash thoroughly, store them carefully, and never mix clean with dirty. Teach your family to honor the tools of nourishment, because when energy is respected, it creates harmony, protection, and prosperity. A clean, orderly table is more than hygiene, it is a shield. It strengthens the flow of positive energy and repels forces that seek to disrupt your life. Even when guests arrive, even when the house is busy, never compromise this principle. Let every person who sits at your table know, whether through action or example, that carelessness is not allowed. Your home is sacred, your dining table is sacred, and the energy you cultivate there spreads far beyond the kitchen. The lesson is clear. Small acts of negligence at the table are not small in consequence. They create openings that can weaken wealth, disrupt family unity, and invite misfortune. Respect the utensils, respect the table, and respect the energy that flows through it, and you will protect everything that matters most to you. Mirrors and reflective surfaces are everywhere in modern homes. They make rooms feel larger, brighter, and more open. But in the spiritual world, they are not merely decorative, they are powerful conduits for energy. Placing mirrors near your dining table or allowing reflective surfaces to face where you eat can be far more dangerous than most people realize. A mirror does not just reflect what is physical, it also reflects energy. If negative energy, ill intent, or spiritual interference is nearby, it can bounce off a mirror and into your dining space, amplifying it, redirecting it, and embedding it into the very meals you share with your family. Think about it carefully. Every meal is more than nourishment. It is a ritual of connection, of protection, and of abundance. When you place a reflective surface close to this sacred space, you are creating a pathway for disruption. The table is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place where air energy flows clean and positive. Mirrors, especially when facing the dining area, can redirect or trap energy in ways that weaken this flow. They can reflect jealousy, resentment, or even curses sent from outside, bringing them straight into your home without your awareness. This is why families with mirrors around their dining area often report strange patterns, sudden arguments, unexplained financial losses, tension among children, or health concerns that seem to appear out of nowhere. It is not coincidence. Energy is being manipulated. The reflective surface becomes a medium, a way for negative forces to enter and interfere with the harmony that should exist at the table. In subtle ways, it can also influence your mind, making you more irritable, restless, or careless during meals. The protection is simple, but requires mindfulness. Avoid placing mirrors directly opposite or adjacent to your dining table. If you cannot remove them, cover them during meals or redirect them so that they do not face where your family gathers to eat. The same applies to shiny surfaces, polished metals, or glass that reflects the dining area. These are not just objects, they are energy channels. Respecting them is not superstition, it is practical energy management. When the space is protected and energy flows naturally, the household experiences harmony, financial stability, and protection against spiritual interference. Even small gestures matter, clearing clutter, ensuring that reflecti ons do not dominate the space, and creating a centered, calm environment reinforces protection. The universe responds to intention. When you make your dining table sacred, when you control how energy moves in that space, you signal that your family is protected, that wealth is safeguarded, and that harmony will prevail. Never underestimate the subtle ways energy interacts with reflective surfaces. A single mirror can amplify forces you cannot see, but when you respect the energy in your dining space, you close the doors that would allow misfortune, discord, or spiritual interference to enter. Protect the table, protect the reflection, and you protect everything that matters most. The dining table is far more than a place to eat. It is a sacred altar of energy, a point where nourishment meets intention. Every meal, every bite, every moment spent around it carries spiritual significance, whether we acknowledge it or not. Yet, so many families overlook this, treating meals as mere routine, ignoring the invisible energy that flows with every action, every word, every thought. Neglecting the spiritual dimension of your eating rituals is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make, because it weakens protection over your family, your wealth, and the harmony of your home. Spiritual awareness at the table begins with intention. Are you eating mindlessly? Are you distracted, anxious, or preoccupied with worries? These thoughts and energies attach themselves to the food, to the plates, and to the very atmosphere around the table. Negative energy, whether internal or external, is drawn to spaces where attention is fragmented or gratitude is absent. That is why homes that lack ritual or reverence during meals often experience misfortune, subtle and persistent, money slipping through fingers, relationships fraying, unexplained conflicts, or even health challenges. The table without awareness and respect becomes an open doorway to imbalance. But the solution is simple and powerful. Every meal should be approached with consciousness, with gratitude, with an acknowledgement of the energy you are creating. Before eating, take a moment to bless the food, whether silently or aloud. Recognize that what you are about to consume carries more than nutrition. It carries energy that will feed not only your body, but the atmosphere of your home. When gratitude and focus are present, the dining table transforms from a simple space into a shielded sanctuary. This is how families protect themselves from negative spiritual influences and create a flow of abundance in wealth, health, and unity. Small rituals make a profound difference. Cleaning the table before every meal, arranging the plates with intention, speaking words of gratitude, and eating without distraction are not merely etiquette. They are energy management. They create balance, reinforce protection, and strengthen the spiritual fabric of the home. When these practices are consistent, unseen forces recognize the boundaries you have established. The table becomes a place of reinforcement for family unity, prosperity, and resilience against misfortune. Neglecting these practices, even occasionally, sends a message that the space is unguarded, that attention and intention are absent. Witchcraft, negative energy, or ill-willed forces do not need permission. They simply act when there is vulnerability. By ignoring the spiritual significance of your meals, you unintentionally leave openings for disruption, whether in your family dynamics, your financial flow, or the overall harmony of your household. The dining table listens to your intention, reflects your energy, and responds to your awareness. Protect it with ritual, with mindfulness, and with gratitude. Honor every meal, every bite, every moment at the table, and you will cultivate protection, prosperity, and unity that no unseen force can disturb.